and may the 4th be with you. Okay, so today Todd is going to demonstrate for us a wall pocket. And that's what this little beauty right here is, holding the flowers. And a great gift for Mother's Day coming up this next weekend. So we'll walk on over here and find out from Todd what's going on. Morning, Todd. Wall pocket.
A mix of Fred. This is our what we call spring mix. It's a little bit of pink and teal and gold. And just different shades and notes within those three color groupings. Texture and optic. And you can see behind the scenes here, folks. Yeah, we're going to make a wall pocket. So this is, unlike a vase, this is something you can just put a nail up, set this on the wall, and it'll hold flowers. Like a pocket, hence the name.
All righty, let's go. All right. Let us know where you are. Let's see, we got Bridget, we got Lynn. Hello, hello, good morning. And we finally got started. It was operator error here as far as getting the camera going, but we're back with you right now. Todd's picked up his first gather of glass from our furnace, which holds about 450 pounds of molten glass. We melt clear glass. That way we can add a multitude of colors. Were we to melt just, say, green glass, then he would have to make his wall pocket quite as pretty. Okay, so the shaping the bubble, or the shaping the glass gather up so that he can put a bubble into it. He blows, traps the air with his finger, and the bubble comes out into the gather of glass. So the air's under pressure, not a great deal of pressure, because the glass is hot, and the bubble will expand right into it. He's using the metal table right now. Hello, Tommy's Workshop, and good afternoon. I know he's from the UK. I'm just trying to remember what town right now. But anyway, we're glad to have you with us. So Todd's now got to gather after a quick sip of coffee, warms him up, and then he lets the glass cool off. We've got to cool the glass a little bit before gathering again, otherwise the extreme heat coming out at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit would just make that bubble collapse and we'd be back to the drawing board. So he's got the right amount of glass now for making the wall pocket. You can see that he's constantly turning the pipe. Were he to stop, it would kind of drop toward the floor. So by turning the iron and tapping in Halifax, West Wark, Yorkshire. Yeah, okay. I'll remember it next time, Tommy. Okay, so it brings the fresh hot glass over on the end of the blowing iron, and then by turning it and just tapping it gently into the frit, it collects.
Is it tea time?
Tea time. They are 4 hours ahead of, let's see.
I thought it was 5 GMT.
I think they're 4, I don't know if they do daylight savings time. I'm just thinking of Greenwich Mean Time, or Coordinated Universal Time. Did you know they changed the designation of Greenwich Mean Time, or the official title, at least in the world of aviation?
So now that's
and the funny thing is, but instead of the acronym being CUT, C-U-T, it's UTC.
Or Zulu.
Yeah, I don't understand. Isn't it neat how we digress to all kinds of impertinent subjects here? Todd was a navigator with the Air Force. I was an air traffic controller for 37 years. So we like to talk about aviation stuff. So right now, pulling a little bit out there, away it goes. So we can do that with, oh, was Zulu. Yeah, Zulu's
place for your meridian. Is meridian? Longitude. Longitude.
latitude.
For east-west.
East-west.
Every 15 degrees is an hour. Please don't check my
Don't worry, we're not going to sing Jimmy Buffett. We're not going to worry about changes in latitude. changes in attitude. Okay, so what Todd did there was he turned the glass on the metal table, on the marver, and instead of having the little dots of frit, now he's got the lines twisted. And you can see that by gripping the end of the piece with his shears, holding against it, he can turn in one direction, and the entire thing is now twisted up. So this is just another design element that we have. And now we're going for, which one do you need?
I'll know when I see it.
You're not sure? Ah, okay. Alrighty, so that is a type of optic mold there. And it's got individual blades on it. They're held together by a ring at the top. How many?
16.
Ah, okay. So if you've watched before, you've seen that we have a lot of the canister type molds over there, but some of them are open with these blades. It gives you a different look. Also, if you're twisting the glass, it gives a little bit of different texture to it. So right now, he's again twisting the glass clockwise on the marver, staying in one direction only and letting the friction of the glass against the tabletop twist it even further. A little trapped air in the blowpipe again. The bubble expands some, and now he reshapes it so that it can blow into the mold. Good morning, Joanna, or good afternoon to you, Joanna. All right, so before we go into the molds, we heat the glass up a good bit. The unit that Todd...
BBC on HF radio.
What's that now?
Did you ever listen to BBC on HF radio?
Yes.
How they had the little musical intro, and then you get the... They do time now, universal recording time.
Oh,
it
yes.
Is.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm digressing.
I know. You know, you used to be able to call the Naval Observatory and get the time right here in the U.S. He's blowing into the mold. This will put some ridges in. We will get back to the glass blowing, but what the heck. Anyway.
That's how we used to we'd all set our watches in the desert.
Well, back in the really old days when I was a kid, and phone numbers were not just 10 digits.
BR549.
We had letters, and quite often, anyway, you could call without an area code. You could call TI 42525, and that would give you a time check. I cannot believe that 70 some years later I can remember this nonsense. Well, actually, it's 60 some years later. I'm sure my parents didn't let me close to the phone before I was 6.
That's strange.
All right, so Todd blew into this mold, which has all these fins in it, created a lot of delicate lines in it, and then he's twisted those up some. So we'll get a shot of that after he comes back out. It's just going to be a double twist. So you can see the line spiraling around gently, and you can see where the ridges are that he created by blowing into the optic mold. Right now he's cutting a pair of lines. Now we've explained many times before that we cut a line close to the blowing iron as a point to separate the glass from the blowpipe later on. The second line, which he's working on right now, a little further from the blowpipe, you can also see him pulling it out away from the pipe. He's using a little outward force away from the blowing iron to stretch that, and that's going to be the top of the piece.
That's the strap. So to hang this on the wall, we're going to cut this glass and loop it back over. That's what I'm creating right now.
So he doesn't want to, as he said, he doesn't want to cut into the main part of the vessel when he has to cut this loose.
Let it loose, Bruce!
So instead of a neck, it's a strap.
Yes.
Okay.
And now,
Now he's used a little bit of centrifugal force, actually quite a bit. You can see that elongated a good bit right there. So most of our glass pieces are made by forming a sphere, or pretty much a spherical shape, cutting a jack line in the glass so it will eventually separate. He's flattening one side, and notice he has the mouthpiece capped. That's to avoid letting the air escape. That flattened side that you see right there is where the piece will rest against the wall when it's done. It's the wall pocket. So, we got the wall part of it established. We got all the decorative elements established. We've got a jack line in it. And now, Todd's going to show you how you can work alone. He's going to make the putty and do the transfer. So quite often you've seen us do our work with assistants, and we do a lot of that, and it makes life easy. And being social creatures, we really enjoy that. But right now he's come to the marver. He's going to shape this little bit of glass that's on the end of this solid iron, and this is going to act like a bit of a glue bit. And he'll take that, place it at the bottom of his piece. He's going to heat both of them. He's got the piece in warming so that it doesn't crack. And with his other hand, he puts the putty iron up in there. In just a moment, he'll bring both back to the bench. Lay the blowing iron across the rails. And now, he'll force the putty attachment onto the bottom of the piece he's making. Once it's secure, a little bit of water in that jack line he created and a tap of the pipe, and it'll come off.
he said,
There it goes. Now, a little bit of housekeeping. He moves the glowing iron out of the way and he's ready to roll. Okay, good to go. So the piece will stay on that putty iron until it's time to put it away in the annealer. And this piece is just like most of the others we make. We do the lower half to 2/3 of it first, then we transfer it to another iron and finish off the top. If you've got any questions about the process, feel free to ask. We can read the comments. Glad to have you with us. And if you're so inclined, please join us in about another 10 to 12 minutes, and we'll be over on Facebook Live doing a 2-hour presentation. Today our theme is going to be more Mother's Day presents. We did a session last week on gifts appropriate for that, and we're going to continue this week. He's using the metal blades called jacks now to enlarge that opening a bit. This will make a really great Mother's Day gift, and if you're so inclined, you can purchase one. Mother's Day is this coming Sunday, though, so if you're across the ocean, I don't think we could get it to you. But anywhere in the Washington-Baltimore area shouldn't be a problem.
all right, one more quick heat.
So get a couple heats. He needs to get this opening up wide enough so they can then get ready to slice into it with his straight shears and form the strap that will hold it on the wall. So now he digs in and cuts around, but he doesn't cut the entire distance. He loops it over and touches that shard up instead of letting it fall to the floor. So now he's got a beautiful loop on it, and it's a matter of reheating, straightening it out so it'll all sit flat against the wall. And there's an inventive use of what would normally be scrap glass. Does that qualify as a scrap strap? Okay, look at that. And with the heat, it's all lined up. He's got the, yep, you can pull that a little bit. So while the glass is soft and hot, He's able to manipulate it, increase the size of the opening, and as he mentioned to you earlier, there it is, a place to hang it when you put a nail or a hook on the wall and hang it right up. And before we go, we'll show you the picture again of one we have on display. Using the tweezers not only to open the mouth or round it out a little bit, he can change the shape of the strap. And there we go. All right, voila. Can you reheat the scrap glass? If you're talking about what we actually do cut off of the pieces, clear glass we do recycle and reuse. And Todd now is applying a little bit of water to the punty. He'll tap that, it'll come right off. He'll take a glove, insulated glove, put it on and put it away in the annealer. The color glass that we have as scraps gets recycled. We do not remelt that. So there's the finished piece off into the annealer. And we'll show you one over here, an example that we have on display. So here's one with a beautiful display of flowers in it. Thank you for joining us. We hope you'll be able to join us on the Facebook Live presentation, which will start in just about 6 minutes. Have a good day.